Welcome to the debate. The technology driving how we create visuals has just undergone this seismic shift over the last few years. I mean, we've all seen AI-generated imagery evolve and astonishingly quickly, moving way past those early, blurry, abstract shapes to produce these stunning, hyper-realistic images that, well, they routinely challenge the work of highly skilled human artists.
And that speed, that rapid evolution, it's fueled by models trained on just unimaginable quantities of data. And that's precisely why this conversation is so urgent. This isn't just a new filter or some software update. It is fundamentally redefining the entire ecosystem of creative work, visual authenticity, and even intellectual property.
That duality is exactly it. The overwhelming potential versus the profound disruption, that is the central tension we have to address today. So we're asking, is AI image generation primarily defined by its unprecedented expansion of creative opportunity and accessibility, or is it really defined by the urgent ethical and societal challenges it introduces? Things concerning authenticity, ownership, and bias.
Right. And I'll be arguing that while the creative outputs they're dazzling, the defining and most pressing aspect of this technology is that array of foundational ethical challenges that its speed and scale just force upon us. And these are challenges that absolutely must be addressed before we continue with this unchecked integration.
And I'm coming at this from a different angle. My position is that the technology's primary impact really lies in its power to unlock vast new creative possibilities and, in a way, level the visual playing field globally. It establishes AI fundamentally as this ultimate new creative partner.
A partnership that I would argue is currently operating without a signed agreement. And that puts the long-term integrity of human creativity at risk. So let's dig into that.
Absolutely. So to understand that position, we have to look at both the mechanism and the result. AI image generation is, at its core, a transformative tool. It expands creativity, and it democratizes visualization. These modern models, often based on latent diffusion, are trained on billions of parameters from these massive data sets. They learn these deep structural relationships between concepts, things like lighting, artistic styles, composition. The real magic is the translation, taking a complex text description, the prompt, and instantly translating that purely conceptual idea into a high-fidelity visual.
The fidelity is the key selling point, certainly.
And the creative expansion that results from that is revolutionary. For established artists, it's not about replacement, it's about iteration, it's about expansion. They can generate countless style variations, test different lighting, or create complex concept art for a project in minutes, not weeks. This capability frees the creative mind from the tedious mechanics of just rendering, and it shifts the focus entirely back to high-level ideas. This ability to explore variations and break through creative blocks, that's the ultimate value proposition here.
Mm-hmm. I see that exploration benefit for the professional, for sure. But I also see the democratization benefit you mentioned for, the everyday person or the small business.
Precisely. The accessibility levels the playing field for the global economy. Think about a small marketing team somewhere trying to launch a new product. They need hundreds of custom visuals for A/B testing across all their social media. Previously, that was an expensive, slow process. It required outsourcing. Now, they can generate high-quality, customized, campaign-specific imagery from product shots to lifestyle scenes in minutes. Product designers can instantly visualize dozens of material and color combinations before they even touch a physical prototype. That speed, that accessibility, it fundamentally changes how quickly ideas can become reality.
I see why you think that, and you're emphasizing speed and democratic access. But let me offer a different perspective, one that's really rooted in foundational integrity. Because while the stunning creations grab all the headlines, the rapid integration and sheer power of this technology are defined and, I would say, complicated by fundamental challenges that threaten the very integrity of creative industries and content authenticity itself.
Okay, so when you talk about integrity threats, what do you see as the most defining challenges right now?
Well, we have to start where the creation starts, the training data. While you're right that these models are trained on billions of images, the issue isn't the quantity, it's the provenance of that data. AI systems often produce biased or inaccurate results because they are trained on data sets scraped from the public web, which just inherently contains historical biases, racial, gender, cultural, you name it. We are in effect building incredibly powerful tools on a biased foundation. And this isn't just a technical problem, it's a structural one that propagates societal flaws through synthetic output.
But that's a solvable data curation issue, isn't it? It's not a defining characteristic of the technology itself.
I would argue that its current inability to easily solve it is what's defining. And what's more, the ongoing crucial discussions about copyright, artistic ownership, and how to ensure fair treatment of the human creators whose work makes these models possible in the first place, these are the defining conflicts of this era. If we can't settle how original human creators are compensated and recognized, especially when massive datasets like Leon 5B contain vast quantities of non-consensual copyrighted material, we cannot credibly claim this is some beneficial democratizing force. It looks a lot more like a resource extractor that risks devaluing the original work.
I understand the gravity of the ownership concerns. They are certainly very complex legal hurdles.
But the final defining challenge, and this one accelerates daily, is the rise of extremely realistic synthetic imagery. We call them deepfakes with video, but it's just as concerning in static images. These images look perfectly real but are entirely generated. As the technology gets faster and more convincing, society has to develop new methods, like right now, to distinguish authentic content from artificial creations. These existential conversations about trust in content are essential, and their unresolved state defines this era of AI imagery far more than any creative speed gain.
That's a compelling argument centered on the threats to integrity and trust. However, I would frame the issue of creativity a little differently. The combination of human intention and AI capability creates a genuinely shared space. We're not just giving computers commands, we are engaging in a dynamic, responsive dialogue with the model, tweaking the prompt, changing parameters in response to the AI's output.
It's true that prompt engineering has become a creative skill in itself. Yeah.
And this shared space allows artists and designers to explore conceptual alternatives that were literally impossible before, often because of constraints of time or materials or even just technical expertise. The value here is the liberation of the human mind from tedious execution, allowing it to focus entirely on the conceptual frontier. I mean, look at the rapid evolution of rendering complex textures or highly detailed architectural scenes. This enhancement of possibility is the ultimate value.
I'm sorry, but I just don't buy that the sustainability or the ethical integrity of this shared space can be assured when the core issues of ownership and fair compensation are still so thoroughly unresolved. You're praising the collaboration, but you're ignoring the fact that the collaborators, the human artists whose work trained the system, have not consented to the terms of this partnership.
But the resulting works are transformationally different from the input data. We aren't talking about a mere collage here.
Transformation does not negate the foundational legal question. If the very mechanisms that allow this shared creation, the models themselves, are built on legally and ethically gray foundations, then the integrity of the resulting creative outputs is compromised from the start. We can't fully embrace the narrative of AI as this benevolent creative partner until we decide how to properly license or attribute or compensate those original human inputs. Maybe through some universal micro-licensing framework, I don't know, but we have to resolve this first.
I appreciate the necessity of addressing the licensing issue. I do. But to focus solely on the legal dilemma risks ignoring the immediate, tangible, and positive economic benefits that come from pure efficiency. I mean, think about practical visualization in fields that traditionally rely on complex, expensive software, like, say, urban planning or industrial design. Reducing the time it takes to visualize a new factory layout from weeks of modeling to mere minutes. That's a massive economic accelerator.
That's a powerful point on efficiency, particularly for industrial uses. But have you considered the societal risks that come with accelerating the production of synthetic realism in areas where authenticity is paramount? The increased speed and accessibility just accelerate the need for new methods to distinguish what's real from what's not. The problem isn't just that we can create hyper-realistic fakes, but that the speed of creation is far outpacing our collective ability to regulate, verify, or even detect them.
I agree we need better verification, but the efficiency gap is driving innovation forward in a way that benefits everyone who needs a visual. This acceleration is democratizing visualization power. It's empowering small businesses to compete with corporate giants. That positive economic shift can't just be ignored.
But that shift also carries a significant cost for the creative labor market. It drives a race to the bottom in terms of pricing, destabilizing the freelance economy, and what's more, the efficiency you're celebrating enables something far more insidious: content laundering. A malicious actor can feed an existing piece of, say, copyrighted or misleading imagery into an AI, generate dozens of variations, and quickly obscure the original source. Unchecked efficiency, in this context, sacrifices societal trust and content authenticity at scale. It just accelerates the rate at which truth becomes ambiguous.
You raise a critical point about the difficulty of tracking provenance in a world of rapid variation. However, I agree trust is paramount, and the direction this technology is heading suggests that technical hurdles like provenance tracking will be addressed as the tools mature. We're seeing a clear trajectory. AI is becoming more powerful, more intuitive, and highly integrated across creative platforms.
So what specifically are you seeing in that trajectory that addresses this authenticity problem?
We're moving toward these sophisticated multimodal systems. Modern AI systems already allow for complex inputs, combining text, uploaded images, rough sketches, all for highly customized results. But crucially, the focus is shifting away from static images entirely. I predict a future beyond JPEGs, moving rapidly toward dynamic scenes, animations, and full 3D environments, leveraging technologies like neural radiance fields.
The move into 3D visualization is a fascinating technical development. I'll grant you that.
It is revolutionary. Imagine a future where industrial designers or filmmakers can build entire virtual sets through simple conversation, shrinking that boundary between imagination and fully realized virtual reality to, near zero. Filmmakers will generate complex 3D assets just by describing them, eliminating massive amounts of pre-production time. The power of immersive visualization will revolutionize whole industries.
I'm not convinced by that, because focusing development solely on pushing into immersive tech like 3D and animation completely ignores the inherent flaws in the systems generating the content today. If the current models are capable of producing biased or structurally inaccurate results based on their training data, which we know they are, then pushing that integration deeper into full virtual worlds and personalized content, that just magnifies the potential negative impacts on society exponentially.
But technology evolves. It fixes its own flaws. As data curation improves and models become more sensitive to cultural nuance, these issues will diminish.
That requires a proactive approach, which is currently lacking. Instead of pouring all the resources into making a 3D environment look more photorealistic, we should be allocating technical effort toward creating robust, unbreakable provenance metadata and reliable detection systems. Pushing integration deeper without resolving these source code biases just means we're building an increasingly realistic synthetic echo chamber where representation is skewed and content lineage is untrustworthy.
Ultimately, I still maintain that AI image generation is fundamentally an empowering tool. It's a new creative partner that allows anyone, regardless of traditional artistic skill or deep technical knowledge, to bring their imagination to life visually, to explore concepts faster and more clearly than ever before. This rapid, accessible expansion of human expression and economic opportunity, that is the technology's defining feature.
And I reiterate the necessity of robust societal and technical responses to the problems this speed introduces. The ongoing, unresolved discussions about copyright, compensation, and the critical distinction between authentic and artificial creations are not minor side effects. They are essential prerequisites for the responsible integration of this immensely powerful technology. Our capacity to govern and ethically handle synthetic realism defines our future relationship with all visualization.
It's abundantly clear that this technology presents both an exhilarating world of possibilities and serious, persistent complexities that impact the very foundation of visual media. The path forward will undoubtedly be shaped by how and how quickly these opportunities and challenges are brought into a sustainable balance.
And that balance demands continued, rigorous exploration from every viewpoint, ensuring we don't just admire the creation, but that we scrutinize the very foundation upon which it's all built.